Good afternoon. It's actually evening almost. Yes, I thought I should share my thoughts about the current situation in the country. Sometimes when everything is going on well, or that is possessed in certain activities, certain political activities. At the moment, most of us Zambians are okay. We are okay. There is peace. And, we are going about doing our business. And we have not had conflicts, serious conflicts in Zambia. Had serious conflicts in Zambia. So somehow we may taking for granted the peace that we have. It is possible because we have not had serious conflicts. At the moment, things are going on well, and we may take it for granted. But I can assure you that the peace we enjoy is as a result of certain people making the right decisions, and of course, the law enforcers being on guard. I think we need to commend our law enforcers as well as other security wings, particularly the military. We tend to take the military lightly, especially these days. I have seen how some of the military personnel are being abused on social media. They are being abused, they are being ridiculed, they are being trolled. But I think we need to appreciate those people. We need to appreciate our military. Believe me, the peace we have enjoyed for a long time, it is as a result of the due diligence of our military, the alertness of our military. Our military have kept this country at peace. Many of you may not realize what our military have been doing to maintain the peace that we have had. You may not realize it because we take things for granted. Above all, the discipline that our military have. Our military is very disciplined. We have one of the most disciplined military in the world. In the world, not just in Africa, we have one of the most disciplined military in the world. And these I'm not just saying to please anyone. No, facts are there to show. Our military have participated in various international engagements, and wherever they have gone, they have come out with good records. Zambian military forces are highly respected on the international scene throughout the world, because when you talk about the UN missions, that is just not on a regional level. It is on the world level, where they look which country can we use to maintain peace. And Zambian military has always come out with good reputation. So it is not just me talking from without. No, the records are there, you can see. And I say the Zambian military have maintained peace within the country. Some of you may have been young when we have had coup attempts in this country. There had been coup attempts in this country which has been thwarted by our military. Our military have thwarted coups. Whilst in other countries, the military, they become indisciplined and lead insurrections. But in Zambia, they have always maintained peace. And surely we need to recognize this. So I'm starting by saying, be very careful when you are talking about the military, when you are disparaging them, because some of you are disparaging the military. You are not appreciating what they are doing. Even at this point in time, some of you may take lightly the peace that we are enjoying. But I can assure you, if it was not for the alertness of our military, if it was not for the alertness, let me just say a combined team of security forces, if it was not for their alertness, believe you me, I don't think we would be enjoying the peace that we are enjoying right now. We are taking it for granted because there is this peace. But from my assessment, I think things would have been different. If the security wings were not alert, things would have been different. And for me, when I make these statements, I don't just make statements, I back them by what I've seen. Firstly, I've not wanted to talk about this, but I want to talk about this because I have seen even the international community, some diplomats, some civil society wanting to wage in on this issue. They want to wage in on this issue whereby they are trying to shroud it in mere political confrontations. But no, there is something more than the political confrontation here. There is something more than political confrontation. The last election which we had was not just about political contestation. It was not just about political contestation. It wasn't. Please open your eyes. Please be attentive. Look around. Smell the atmosphere. That was not just about political contestation. It was more than a political contestation. Whilst elections were going on, there were other things which were going on. Whilst elections were going on, there were other things which were going on. It was as if elections were a front. Hear me good. It was as if elections were the front. But behind the elections, there were things which were brewing. How far that risks our country, I can't really say because I'm not an expert. But from a layman's point of view, looking at the various events, looking at different statements coming from some political actors and other people, I am convinced that there was more than just the elections here. There was more. For example, if you remember, we had a podcast by Vasevia Chungu, who is a former intelligence officer. And Vachungu this former director of intelligence, he came out very clearly that Hakainde Hichilema was losing power this year. He didn't mince his word. He spoke confidently that President Hakainde Hichilema was going. He went on to say the security system at the moment is the worst we have. Is the worst we have in the world. Some of the statements that Basevia Chungu made alarmed me. And if you are not alarmed, some of you don't pay too much attention, but for me, I was alarmed by some of the statements that Basevia Chungu made. From there, we had a number of statements that came from various political operatives. Binwell more than once threatened about this election. And many other people, they really spoke. Something that I didn't see myself. I didn't see. The certainty in which they were speaking that Hakainde Hichilema is going was a little bit concerning. It was a little bit concerning. It was more than just election, Hakainde Hichilema losing the elections. With the statements, there are various statements. And some of you who want to look at this government to say, no, this government is not respecting the rights, there is arbitrary arrests. You are just looking at the but you're not looking at what these people did or what these people said. The paradox that I'm seeing with a number of people, especially the international stakeholders, they want to insist no human rights, no arbitrary arrests. But you are not looking at the risk that these people brought out. You are not looking at that. Why are you not looking at the risk that these people brought to this country? Why are you not looking at the risk that these people brought to the country? Some of the statements that these people were making, they are concerning anywhere in the world. If it is in America, it would even be worse, because these days, America is very sensitive when it comes to security matters. You don't just go about and say, I'm ready to kill. You want. Even social media algorithms are sensitive to this kind of things. And yet we have people that were blatantly threatening violence. And you don't want to pay attention to those statements that they were making. Why are you not paying attention to the statements that people were making? Why? Going further, we saw guns. It is undisputed that these people were in possession of sophisticated weapons. AK-47s are not guns that you would play with. These guns have been recovered. We have seen them. We saw them before the police even recovered them. We saw them shooting. Why are you ignoring this fact? Which country would allow a political party to own guns? Even as they are going around campaigning, they are in possession of these guns. Which political party, which country would tolerate that? Which country would tolerate that? Because the Tonse guys, they had weapons. And this is not a fabrication. This is what anyone who want to see is able to see. The police officers, last time, they rounded up a number of people and they displayed the weapons that they had in the car. One of the vehicles belonged to Sean Tembo. Sean Tembo, who was a part of the Tonse, the Tonse team. They were arrested with weapons and they were shown, even a vehicle. Right now, it is in the police custody. These people, they were going around brandishing weapons. Honestly, how can you say we are at peace? How can we say, no, everything is okay? When these people uttered statements threatening violence to say, we are not taking anything other than winning. We are not taking anything other than winning. Next, they went ahead to acquire weapons. They went ahead to send people to go and train in military activities. How can anyone, even if you are coming from outside, even if you want to side with the opposition, how can you ignore such stubborn facts? How can you ignore such stubborn facts? In my view, our country is threatened. Our peace is threatened. Our peace is threatened. We may be saying, no, where is it? But no, if we look at what has been happening, if we look at what these people are doing, surely you would be naive, take it for granted that no, everything is okay. For that reason, I am saying we quickly need to restore government, the full functionary of government. We need it like yesterday. We need the president to be sworn in. We need the president to be sworn in as soon as possible. It's a pity we have a constitution which states that a president can only be sworn in a Tuesday after the seventh day. Okay? The constitution, our constitution, says that the president can only be sworn in 7 days after declaration. The day that is declared, 7 days must pass, and then a Tuesday. So the day that is declared, for example, President Hakainde Hichilema was declared winner on the 18th of August, and 7 days later brings us to 24th. The next Tuesday should be 25th. 25th is Tuesday. No, 18th. So 7 days brings us to 25th. 7 days bring us to 25th. Now 25th is actually Tuesday. Unfortunately, he cannot be sworn on the 25th because the 25th is the 7th day. He can only be sworn in after the 7th day. The 7th day, and on a Tuesday. Okay? Please follow me well. The president is declared on the 18th, 19th, first day, 20th, second day, 21st, third day, 20, whatever, anyway, up to 25th. The 7th day is 25th. Now, 25th is also a Tuesday. The president cannot be sworn on the 25th because 25th is the 7th day. We need to look for a Tuesday after the 7th, which brings us to 1st September. The 7 days is for a petition, if there is a petition to come in. So if there is no petition, the president is supposed to be sworn in on the 1st of September, if there is no petition. Now, with the current situation, honestly, I feel these days, it's like every day, some of us who are able to see beyond, we are worried. Some of us, I am worried. So the longer we are taking, I am not feeling very comfortable. I'm not feeling very comfortable. But nonetheless, that is what the law states. So President Hakainde Hichilema can only be sworn in on the 1st of September, which is a Tuesday. This is already a long time. Now, here we are saying this, that there is no petition. And I'm already saying this is looking like a long time. Now, if we bring in the petition, if a petition comes in, it means we will not have the president sworn in until mid-September. So we will have this long time. I mean, likely it will be almost mid-September, 11, 12, somewhere there. That is when the president, because again, what the Constitution says, it says that if there is a petition must be heard and determined within 7 days. And after the judgment, the president again is not sworn in immediately. We have to wait another to be sworn in. So, roughly, we are saying 1st plus 14, first will be Tuesday. Another Tuesday, that will be like 8th. So, we are going to mid-September. Now, that is a long time. That is quite a long time. But there is another issue which is very delicate. When a petition comes in, the president, if it is the incumbent, in this instance, if there is a petition and it is the incumbent who was declared winner, the incumbent steps aside. Listen to me very well. Listen to me very well. This is where I have a problem. If there is a petition, it means the president steps aside. He steps aside. Today, as we speak, the president is President Hakainde Hichilema. He's president-elect, but he's also the president. Because the president, we can never have a vacuum. We can never have a vacuum. So as I am speaking, the commander-in-chief, the president, the Republican president, is the president-elect, President Hakainde Hichilema. And I'm using those terminologies very carefully. Today, as we talk, the president of the Republic of Zambia is President Hakainde Hichilema, president-elect. Two terms there. Two terminologies there. The Republican president is President Hakainde Hichilema, who is also the president-elect. Now, in case of a petition, Article 105, Article 105.2a comes in, where the incumbent steps aside and the speaker comes in. I don't know if you hear me very well there. Let that sink in your heads. In case we have a petition, President Hakainde Hichilema steps aside and the speaker comes in. until the time of, until the petition is determined. I'm not very comfortable with that. I am not comfortable with that. Why am I not comfortable? I'm not comfortable because the moment President Hakainde Hichilema stepped foot in those executive powers, there have been fights to remove President Hakainde Hichilema. All this that has been going on, so many things have been happening just to have Hakainde Hichilema out of power. People have gone to great length, great extents, just have Hakainde Hichilema suspended, even for a moment. They have really fought so hard. They have fought so hard to have Hakainde Hichilema at least just for a moment out. It is not about Hakainde Hichilema. It is about the institution of the president. It is about the state that I'm talking like this. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this for President Hakainde Hichilema. I'm saying what I'm saying right now for the country. I'm saying what I'm saying for the country. You cannot have a situation where people are so determined to suspend a person who has the executive powers for whatever reasons. You cannot entertain that. We can't entertain this because some of you are trying to say, no, it is the Constitution. It is democracy. Yes, it is democracy. Yes, it is the Constitution. But there is something that we cannot ignore here. There is something that is so apparent, which we cannot ignore here. The strong aversion, the strong hatred against President Hakainde Hichilema. These people, they refuse to bury Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Up to today, the former president has not been buried. Why? Because of one man. Because of one man. They refused. We cannot bury unless this man steps aside. They wanted to suspend, they wanted to hold our country to ransom. If anything, they held our country to ransom. Because they said, unless this guy is not there as president, we will not bury. And when we protested, when some of us protested, when we said, no, President Hakainde Hichilema can never do that. And thank God President Hakainde Hichilema never did that. Until today, we have not buried. Other people come in. We are going to do everything possible to have Hakainde Hichilema out of power. We are going to do everything. We don't even care. We are even ready to die. We are even ready to kill. We want him out. Now we have election. He's declared winner. And in spite of the overwhelming result in favor of President Hakainde Hichilema, some of you are insisting to say, no, let them petition. It is their right. The question is, what is the propitious chance that these guys, they would win? What is there? What evidence can you point to say, because of this, I mean, this election stands a chance of being overturned? What? Those of you who are insisting to say, no, let them petition, especially on the presidential level, what evidence do you have? No, the results in this constituency, they were different. Hey, they whatever announced 16,000, but they gave Hakainde Hichilema 23,000. How many of those that they would amount to 1 million? Because Hakainde Hichilema has over 1 million. So how many instances that would amount to 1 million? Even if we were to accept, even if I were to accept your argument to say, okay, fine, yes, there were these discrepancies, fine, but those discrepancies, if we bring them together, we total them up, how many votes would they be? How many votes would they be to overturn this result? There is no sufficient evidence anywhere which you can point to say this election has a chance of being overturned. This election can never be overturned. And even this one also, she just called me at the wrong time, and I don't know why. And if you look around, oh Lord, and I know that even Brian Mundubile, as well as Makebi, they know that they lost this election. They know that they lost this election. They know that they lost this election. But why the insistence on petitioning? Why are you insisting on petitioning when you know that you have no chance of overturning this election? Why are they insisting on petitioning the election? Why? When they know that they will lose the elections. They will lose the whatever the legal battle. They will lose. You know, all of you here, you know it is not possible to overturn this election. It is not possible. It is not possible to overturn this election because there is no substantive evidence that you can talk about. There is just nothing. So why insist on petitioning? To delay the swearing in of the president and to have that situation where Hakainde Hichilema steps aside. I don't think the insistence to petition is about a legitimate right that there is a substantive evidence where this election can be overturned. No. It is about Hakainde Hichilema. And this is where I have a problem. This is where I have a problem. I have a problem. This election, this petition is not about, no, we have evidence that can overturn this election. No, it is about Hakainde Hichilema. It is about seeing Hakainde Hichilema out, even just for a minute. But I'm uncomfortable with that. I am uncomfortable with that because, I mean, with what has been going on, I'm sorry. It's not personal to anyone. I can't trust anyone. I can't trust anyone. With what has been going on, and I feel we cannot prolong the swearing in ceremony other than the 1st of September. Going to mid-September, I mean, then what? Then what? With the volatile situation that we have in the country, we wait until mid-September. That petition should not see the light of day in our courts. That is my position. I'm nobody. I'm just a politician, but that petition should not be entertained, because it is not about democracy. It is not about constitutionalism. It's ill-intended. It's ill-intended. And because it's ill-intended, it should not be entertained. It should not be entertained. And those who have got powers, those who are part of the system, I'm telling you, if you love this country, you are there to save this country. You are there to save this country. You are there to save this country. You are not saving an individual. You are saving this country. This country cannot be held at ransom. We were, during the burial of Edgar Chagwalungu, we were held at ransom. Some church leaders have wanted to hold us at ransom. We cannot allow, again, using the Constitution to hold the country to ransom when we know eminently that this President Hakainde Hichilema will be sworn in, because the election can never be overturned. The elections can never be overturned. So why should we allow that? Why should we allow that? Why should we allow this an ill-intended process to hold us at ransom as a country? It is not about Hakainde Hichilema. It's about the country. It's about the country. Those who care for this country, they are already feeling the impact of this stale moment that we have, because the country is on standstill. The country is on standstill at the moment. The country is on standstill. And those who care for this country, I don't think they would want a swearing in to be delayed any further when there is no tangible evidence, when there is no chance that they can overturn this election. Why should we delay? Why should we delay? Why? We should not allow it. We should not allow it. I don't care. The Constitution is there, yes. The rights of people, yes. But there must be a good reason. If we have a good reason, surely we should pursue that which would save our nation than risk our nation in the name of constitutionalism, in the name of protecting some rights of people who have got ill motives for this country, people who don't care about this country, people who don't care about the Constitution. Because how can these people say they respect the Constitution when they themselves went ahead to do illegal things, went ahead to disregard the Constitution? They disregarded the Constitution themselves. How can we turn around to say, no, we are respecting their rights? We are respecting constitutionalism when they themselves did not respect the Constitution? They did not respect the constitution when they sent people to go and train in military activities. They did not respect the constitution when they acquired guns. They didn't respect the constitution. They didn't respect the rights of others when they acquired guns. They didn't. How can you turn around today and say, no, we need to respect the constitution for people who deliberately ignored the constitution themselves? There are people that have actually been saying, no, there are too many arrests and whatever. Yes, there are too many arrests. What can a state do when there are so many people that are involved in these clandestine activities? Dangerous clandestine activities. What can the state do? Or any country for that matter. What can any country do when you have, so many people fighting, doing whatever they are doing? What can any country do? What can any country do? So, nobody, in my view, your petition here, we cannot, because you just never know. You just never know what these people may be up to. You just never know. You just never know. We cannot risk putting President Hakainde Hichilema aside when we know that President Hakainde Hichilema is the man that they want so much to put aside. And don't even complain about the military. Don't complain. The military, you are keeping the peace. Please continue protecting this country. The army commander, continue. The army commander for Zambia Army, Zambia Air Force, ZNS, the police, all the security wings. You have been working together. Please don't drop your guard. Don't drop your guard by listening to some of these people that are coming up with issues of human rights. When a country disintegrates into chaos, they will not be there to protect this country. Those people who are shouting, yeah, human rights, human rights, when this country disintegrates into chaos, they will be the first one. If they are in the country, they will be the first one to board their planes to go to their countries. They will be quiet. We have seen these things. What brought war in Rwanda? What brought war? How did war start in Rwanda? So please, how did war start in Sudan? Right now, Sudan is unstable. How did Sudan get to where it is today? How did Sudan get to where it is today? We have seen it that during these transitional period, is a very delicate time. It's a very delicate time. It's not a time to play around. No, it's not. It's not a time to play around. So I'm wondering, I'm saying this, for the love of the country that I have, for the love of the country. So please, your petition, nothing. We cannot prolong the swearing in of the president, and we should not allow a situation where President Hakainde Hichilema steps aside because. But unfortunately, when the petition goes in, that's what the Constitution says. So it's not very good. It's not very good. So that petition should not be entertained. And if Brian Mundubile and his friend, they love this country, they should heed to the advice that they should concede defeat. If Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu, they love this country, they should concede to save the country from all these anxieties, from all this vulnerability that they are putting us in. They have the key to restore this country. They have the key to put this country at ease, but they don't want. They don't want. They have gone to hide in an embassy, and especially some of these people who are even outside Zambia, they are busy pushing people, go in the street, oh, react. They are busy pushing people, react. No, don't react. Young people, please. This woman. Please, don't listen to them. Listen to them. Brian Mundubile and Makebi Zulu, I have been saying this even before the elections were declared. Concede and move on. Otherwise, you are risking this country. Anyway, I thought I should put myself on record on this one. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.